I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this.
Love this show.
The sickest night ever.
Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host. I am a 90's baby. Colton's a 90's baby. And the Skywalker, who's with us tonight, is also a 90's baby. And yes, my mother-in-law did cook me dinner for the last 5 nights, and I am not upset about it.
Jeez, must be nice.
Oh my God, I tell you what, she made some of the best food I've had in a long time. And I was so happy. And I was eating leftovers tonight thinking, maybe she should have just moved in.
You might regret that one.
Well, yeah, maybe not. I
don't know. He's got that nice new house with all those extra rooms.
Yeah,
You
he
never even know
does.
she's there.
Yeah. Well, and that's true. I'd get up every morning, and if it wasn't for the dogs hearing me, I wouldn't have known she was there. I'd just get up, walk out the door, and yeah, hear her snoring through the wall. But yeah, how's it going, guys? Skylar, Skywalker, welcome to the Call Guys podcast.
Skywalker has finally made it into the realm of the Call Guys.
You know, I got called out pretty hard last week, so
Yeah, you did. It's about time you wandered into these parts here.
I'm scared, Colton. You scared me to come on this podcast.
Don't be too scared. He's probably just gonna be like a teddy bear the whole night.
Oh my gosh. No, my problem is every time Skylar starts talking to me about something, I just want to start laughing because I can't take it serious.
I don't know if that's an insult or if that's something I should feel pride in.
I would go with pride.
Okay.
Pride, straight pride. That's good.
Oh gosh.
Glad to be
That's
here.
great.
I'm glad to be on. It's been a hectic couple weeks, and it's so nice outside. I didn't know if I was gonna make it tonight, but
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, he took the kids on a picnic. I'm getting Snapchats of him throwing the football, and Sora throws him the football, but he's standing right in front of her, and the football goes like 10 feet to the right.
It's so funny because that's all Aspen wants to do is throw the football right now, and the kid's got an arm on him. Like if he weren't so short, he'd be such a good quarterback someday.
That's
I
the
would
golden
say
gene.
I would say there's hope, but I know how them Goldens are grown.
Oh yeah, he has no hope.
We're not grown at all. Mind, body, or soul.
Oh my, but no, Skywalker, I'm glad you were able to make time for us. I'm excited to have you on. It's always a pleasure when we get together and get to talk and hang out. So I'm excited for tonight's episode.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here, Colton. I'm glad to see your beautiful face. I don't get to see it nearly enough, except when I'm watching the YouTube videos. Same with Chico. I don't see him nearly enough either.
We could have hung out a couple weekends ago, but no, I got snubbed from yet another golden wedding. So, here I am thinking I'm a somebody in this world, and it turns out I'm still just a lonely nobody.
What was your free throw percentage in high school?
Mine?
Yeah.
Probably like 73.
Oh, I was gonna say like 33, and you're spot on with weddings. So.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
So, how's it going, guys? You guys both have a good week?
Yeah, work is pretty slow right now just because of the weather. But I think that's going to change after this weekend. We're supposed to get a cold front coming in. Allegedly, we're supposed to have snow this weekend. Who knows? This is Indiana. This is what we do. So yeah, other than that, just house stuff, husband stuff, father stuff. That's all I do is stuff.
I don't want to hear the word snow because I have to drive 9.5 hours to Kansas City this weekend. So
I hope you don't get any of that.
I hope so too.
Well, I heard it's coming from like the north. It's going like north to south. So you shouldn't be missing it.
Good. I don't want
what they say. South Dakota right now is
They
right
got
in
a
the middle of
blizzard.
blizzard.
Yeah.
That would suck.
We don't want it. Skywalker, how's it going?
It's going, man. Life's been hectic. 4 weddings in a year. The last one's 2 weeks away. And I love Nick and Amanda, but I'm so excited for it to be here and done. And so
I think, I work with an older generation, and they're at that stage of their life where, if you don't invite them to the wedding, like, you get a better present from them. And I feel like that's kind of like where you're at. Be like, you know what? I'd send you a real nice gift if I didn't have to show up.
well, what's even worse is I've been in all 4 of them in the last year. So,
Oh, that suck.
and they were all great. They were all fantastic weddings.
Oh, I'm sure.
You can see it right beside Pajama Sam in the background right there.
Yeah, what am I looking at?
That's the scroll of truth.
Oh, I've heard of this
The
scroll.
scroll of 1,000 speeches.
Oh, that's what it was. Scroll of 1,000.
I've
Speeches.
heard tales of this scroll.
It
Yes.
is right there. I have yet to get it pinned on my wall, but
I think in typical Call Guys fashion, we need to dissect the
background.
Skywalker's background. So let's just, Skywalker, just take us through, give us a nice little spin. Let's see what you're working with back there.
well, my office is a disaster area to start. So
Okay.
I've got CN 1922 sitting right here.
Nice.
I love my little droid. I've got 4 guitars in the background, 2 behind me.
I see one.
Yeah, that's my garage sale
Is that a Squire?
Squire. Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
1978 Squire bass I got for $10 at a garage sale.
Nice.
There's my Lion that I got for $5 at a garage sale, and then my Ibanez is over here, and there's one other. Oh, my Fender acoustic bass is back there.
Ooh, nice. I'm trying to get an acoustic bass. It's not going well.
Amazon.
You live
like
2 minutes from
150 bucks.
Sweetwater.
I know that's the problem. Sweetwater's got them for like prime prices, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I have been looking into getting a new Jackson, so I'm like, oh man,
They're nice light guitars too.
I love my bass. My bass is awesome. Like, I don't think I'll ever go until like somebody shows me otherwise. I don't think I'm going to go away from Jackson.
I have a real love for Ibanez
Yeah,
and Epiphone.
I could see Epiphone has a lot of semi-hollowed bass guitars, and I love that look. And I think they actually have one in a bass that's red cherry. It looks like a banjo, but it's a bass. It looks awesome. I'd love to have it, but I just don't have like $800 to spend on a bass right now.
There were 2 instruments I had to have when I started playing,
Yeah,
and since Gibson and Epiphone are
yeah, they're
Gibson's the parent
Brother.
company.
yeah.
A Firebird and a Thunderbird,
Ooh,
and I have both of them.
ooh.
And sadly, only the Thunderbird is here because the Firebird is sitting in the studio unplayed. But
Don't you have two Firebirds?
I have the Firebird's the guitar, the Thunderbird's the bass.
That's right.
Right. But those are my absolute favorite body style of guitar, and so
And they look really good with each other.
they do. They're beautiful.
Sitting
Yeah.
next to his orange.
That's exciting.
Man's got some gear. He also, if you see that there in the background, that's Pajama Sam. But that's not just Pajama Sam. That is the original Mac Pajama Sam.
That
Pretty-
came from my grandmother, where we used to play that game all the time.
Yeah.
And every time I record down here, I set it up to where it's at least, somewhere in the background and able to
Nice.
be seen.
Such a fun game.
You can get it on Switch, by the way.
I have it on Switch. Play it. It's fun. It's a puzzle game. That's all it really is. With a
But
great
on-
story.
Oh yeah, fantastic story. On this side is kind of cosplay corner because Jess is really into cosplay, and yeah, I think that's about all you can really see. So
Okay.
So the Skywalker currently is working on moving everything to his breezeway so he can record his new podcast. You want to give that a plug, Skylar?
I will,
Because it's a little ways out, but
it is. We're talking about maybe January release, A Court of Books and Booze, and it's a book club with my beautiful wife Jessica and our best friend Amanda. We just talk about whatever book we've been reading for the week.
The book club.
The book club.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. It's been a really good time so far.
I'm excited to hear it.
And maybe you'll actually want to pick up and finish a book, huh?
I'm gonna take my ball and go home, guys.
Yeah. One day I'll read a book.
No. That's not the problem. The problem is finishing the book.
Like Spark Notes.
I've never been a reader, and Jess introduced me to a book in August, and I read the series in 2 weeks. It was 5 books.
Oh wow!
And since then, it's just been like I can't put them down. I just am constantly reading, and
maybe that's what I need. I need something that's really going to spark me to want to read a certain genre of books. I think that's what I need.
You know, I think one thing you might like. Have you read the Hunger Games books? Do you like those? Do you like those movies, Gunner?
Yeah. It took me a while to actually want to watch them, just because I have this thing where something's so hyped up and everybody's in love with it. I try to push it off until the hype's down. So it was a couple years after they came out where I actually watched the whole series. Like I'd seen scenes from the movies. Like I don't know if it was Catching Fire or I don't know which one it was, but the one where they're in that like plaza and it's getting like filled with the black goo.
The black tar.
Yeah.
That's
Mockingjay.
Mockingjay Part 2.
Right.
Okay. So I remembered watching that scene, and when I actually went back and watched it, I was like, I think I've seen this whole movie before, but I'd only seen the one scene.
So that scene in the book that's a pretty good scene in the book. I think that would be a good one. I don't think the books are more than 300 pages. Like they're like anywhere from like they're around like the 250 spot. Like they're not very long books. And I think those books would keep you engaged because you've seen the movies, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And like you can follow along because they do a somewhat decent job going from the book to the movie. It's not obviously 100% there, but I think they do a good enough job that you can go through those books. You could get through the books just because you've gotten through the movies.
Okay.
I think you should start there.
Start with the Hunger Games. You've heard it here first. Maybe it'll happen. I gotta go on to A Court of Books and Booze at some point. So I mean, you gotta read.
Yeah,
something.
you do.
I tell you what, the Heroin Diaries was the one that I remember reading when I was growing up. That just was like, the one book I could not put down, and of course that's Nikki Sixx's book. But, yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I said, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to hear the first episode. And
yeah, I'm too. I'm excited. I'll listen because I'm a good follower of the Emperor, and I do what I'm told.
Yeah,
as you should.
Well,
yes,
as you
yes.
should.
I don't want to get the belt anymore. So
he told me to go find a switch in the backyard, and I just ran away. I haven't seen him since.
I just carry mine with me all the time now, just in case.
Oh, jeez.
So before we get into what we're going to talk about today, I do have a couple things that I want to cover. One is the Wally Bucks giveaway. So if you have been liking, commenting, sharing, sending emails for these guys right here, 50 Wally Bucks.
50 biggins.
You have this episode. You can like, share, comment on the Facebook post for this episode. Or you can send us an email. If you like, share, and comment, you get 5 entries, 1 for a like, 1 for a share, 1 for a comment, and then 1 for an email.
How many do we have enrolled already?
We're up to 10. So,
ooh,
like I said,
halfway
you guys
there. Look at that.
And I do have something. The Emperor, we had our our quarterly, monthly meeting today, and he did say that if he gets pulled for the Wally Bucks, that he will sacrifice his gift of 50 Wally Bucks, and he will add a $25 gift card on top of that. So you're going to be getting $75 if the Emperor gets pulled. We'll draw again. Whoever wins will get 75. So if the Emperor gets pulled first time around, we redraw, and that person gets a bigger prize. So
That's a lot of family boxes of fries, guys.
Oh my gosh. What would you do with 75? I don't know what I'd get for $75.
I mean, that's like a full Penguin Point catering your party, right?
Probably pretty close.
Could you imagine calling them out to your house to cater, and it's literally they're just giving you dinner for the night? And they're saying, "Well, how are you taking care of this?" And you just start flashing those Wally bucks.
You're like, well, I got this and a gift card. Yeah. So yeah, enter in, guys. When somebody out there win these
Yes.
Wally Bucks.
Somebody
will
out
draw.
there.
We will draw at the end of episode 36, which is next week's episode. We're going to be covering our top 5 movies of the 2000s. This week, I mentioned it in the intro, we are 90s babies. We're covering our top 5 90s movies. So hope you enjoy this episode too. As we continue on, Wally Bucks are covered. Everybody, Black Panther, as we are recording this episode, Black Panther is coming out tonight. So if you see it this past weekend from when this episode comes out, send us an email. Let us know what you thought of it. We're not going to see it until probably this coming Sunday after this airs. So I'm excited to see it. All the trailers look good. All of the reviews I've read from critics sound good, but we know what critics say is not always what you get. So
yeah, I found, because I do the find a good, find a bad article, read them, and I'm struggling with finding a legitimate bad one, one that doesn't seem fishy, no pun intended.
Fishy.
Neymar, no.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I got you. Water people.
Water people.
Avatar with the way water. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So yeah, I'm struggling finding a legitimate, I could believe why it could be bad. So I've got decently high hopes for it. But if anybody in this podcast right now who would be the Skywalker has taught me one thing, and that is to go in with low expectations. And that's what I've been doing with Disney TV shows right now. And I'm telling you, I'm doing great when I do that.
It's so weird with Marvel and Disney right now, because like you said, it's quantity over quality.
Oh gosh,
and I totally agree with you. And it's gotten to the point where I've dropped watching MCU altogether, because I don't have time to watch it, and 2, after Endgame I had no interest. But I mean, even with low expectations, like some of the Star Wars stuff and all that, I've had a really hard time staying interested in it. So
have you watched any of Andor yet?
I have not started it.
So I know when it released, it said, they're going to release the first 3 and you need to watch them because they're like a movie. Okay. So I didn't start watching until they were on episode 7, and I mistakenly screwed up and watched the first episode and then didn't watch the other 2 for 2 days. And I was like, this first one, it sucked. I can't stand it. So then I watched the other 2, and so I've watched all 3, and I'm like, together, still not that good, in my opinion. But then after that, it picks up, and I've enjoyed it ever since from the 4th episode on. I've actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm stuck in Game of Thrones right now. I've been watching it for probably a year. I'm in mid-season 5. I can't finish it. Jess is yelling at me to finish it so she can watch House of Dragons.
So have you watched it at all?
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
This is my first time watching it.
Oh. Yeah, you need to finish that.
I'm in that lull in season 5, so.
You need to finish that. You need to your wife is correct in saying that you need to finish that.
Well, it's funny because she binged the entirety of Game of Thrones as season 8 was coming out.
Okay.
And so she went and was able to go to the watch parties with our friends for the final episode.
Nice.
And I have never had any interest in it. It's never been on my radar. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And so I just kind of let it go. And then one night we were sitting there, I was like, you know what? Let's start it. And the first 4 seasons, fantastic. 5th season, shoot me in the head.
Yeah, they yeah, I would say the 5th season is kind of the start of their formula not working anymore. Right. And that's okay. It's not bad, but it leads up to, from now here on out, like it's a lead up into the end. It's not a lead up to like 2 episodes, big thing, 2 episodes, big thing. It's a slow and gradual, think of that word, gradual, the whole time of these seasons to get to the end. And yeah, I would definitely say keep hanging on and getting through it. But I say the quicker you get to the season finale is the better the episodes are going to get.
Well, and it's like I'm looking forward to watching House of Dragon. I haven't watched Rings of Power because I'm trying to get through Game of Thrones before I do it. And so my watch list is really backlogged right at this moment.
Yeah, I just went to I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time to give Doctor Who a shot. I want to say Jodie Foster, but that's not it.
It was Jodie Foster, wasn't it?
Is that? I thought it was Jodie. It's not Jodie Whittaker, is it? It's one of those two. I can't. Tony, if you're Logan, just calm down, everybody. The DeLorean is already fueled. We know this.
Yeah, somehow managed to end up in
his
YouTube cover.
Jodie Whittaker, yeah, because I'm pretty sure I said Jodie Foster one time. My buddy Tony just gave me the red ass one time. So I was like, okay, my bad, Jodie Whittaker. And I was like, you know what? This is it. I'm gonna do it. I got about 10 minutes in, and next thing I know, I'm watching Eccleston. Starting over. I was like, gosh, I can't do this.
I see with Doctor Who, I really liked Eccleston. And then when they brought in Tennant, I stopped watching it.
Oh, see, and that was my problem because my wife was a huge Doctor Who fan, and I was on Doctor Who. I didn't know anything about Doctor Who until I met her. So I watched the first season of Eccleston. I'm like, okay, I like Eccleston. This is good. I like the storyline. I like the writing. And then all of a sudden he's gone. And I was like, whoa. So he only does one season? Like this doctor only does one? And she's like, not really. And I remember I watched Tenet halfway through the first season. I was like, dude, this guy sucks. Like, I can't stand him. And then after that, loved him the rest of the time. Same thing with Matt Smith. I was like, man, this Matt Smith guy sucks. Boom. Well, Matt Smith is my favorite. It's that weird, and Capaldi, I just, I don't.
The writing got really, really weird from what I understand with like mid Matt Smith and the Capaldi, and I guess the original writers for Eccleston and Tennant are back. Right?
Davies and it's
Russell's.
It's Russell's and Davies. Gunnar, is that true? I feel like you just made that up.
No, that's what you say every time.
Yeah, I think it's Russell's and Davies are back as writers because they left about the Capaldi era because of, I think, of what was going on with Matt Smith, and that they were kind of like, I think they were just Doctor Who'd out, and they were like, man, we need to do something else. Well, and then they screwed up the hiring process from there and really screwed Jodie Whittaker. I mean, she didn't. I feel bad for her. She did the best her heart could do, but she could not get around that terrible script. So
from everything I've seen online, she wasn't a bad doctor. Just not. It's tough to fill the shoes of the people who came before her.
I think the writing screwed her. I think she was screwed from Jump Street. And like you can't do, and that's the problem, is that you can't do anything about that.
Right.
Like when you're already behind the 8 ball, like it's frustrating because I think it's a good show. I love the premise of the show. It's just, man, who would have ever thought writers make shows? Who would have ever thought?
I'm a huge Community fan. I understand that completely.
My wife loves Community. I can't get it. I don't understand it.
That's too bad because it's fantastic.
It's because it's that same thing Jake talked about in Beer 30, where it's just the same as The Office and Parks and Rec. You get that same kind of feel and that same kind of show, you know.
Gotta stretch.
But
I'm running out.
Stretch it out. Colton.
I'm running out of room.
Colton.
What
Hey,
up?
Colton.
What up?
We got some emails.
We do have some emails. We're gonna start out with Chris. He says, "Hey guys, all dim legs is one of my favorite new Colton statements. You're welcome, Chris." I thought he would
Their
say
tentacles.
Yeah. We're smart. We're smart folks here at the Call Guys.
Yeah.
I thought he would say attack ships all Kraken style. Giant squids still do exist, but they are rarely seen. See, that's another reason why I want to be a giant squid.
Nobody ever sees you.
I'd have privacy. I said I would do a 90s list, but that will probably have to come later. Love the list. As Gunnar said, the 80s has a lot of great movies. Also, you guys got me lost trying to make a favorite actress list. There are a lot of great actresses out there, but have to agree with Emma Stone. Also love Emily Blunt and Emma Thompson. Emily Blunt, I totally forgot about her, and Emma Thompson. And he said, excited to join again soon. Enjoy the photo, CT1209. And for those who are listening, either, Gunnar might throw this in on the YouTube. I don't know. He doesn't have to, but we're hoping to put this on a picture that Chris made. That gave him, how many entries did he get for this?
I think it was 20 entries.
20. You said 20? That's
I think so.
You should have said 10 or something.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's 20.
So Chris is loaded in on this thing. He drew a beautiful squid with a penguin's face on it. So
with Wally's head on it.
He's a master artist is what he is. I'm pretty sure that this creature lives under the sea somewhere.
It lives in the basement of Penguin Point.
That makes a lot of sense for their hamburger quality, really.
Oh gosh. Hey, you just don't look at the sauce.
Oh, is that what the Wally sauce is made out of?
Oh, we might have cracked the code.
It's squid juice.
And then we have an email, first time emailer, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but it looks like a first timer. From an Andy Skiles. You guys know an Andy Skiles?
Yeah.
Who Skywalker? Do you know Andy Skiles?
He's got the horses in the bag.
He's
been listening.
I broke his achy breaky heart, guys.
He's been listening to the Call Guys too, so
he's gonna be so excited that I'm on here and call him out for like the 4th time.
Oh my god. He's got the horses in the back.
That is Fat Billy Ray.
Yes, Fat Billy Ray.
Andy, thank you for the email. Thank you for your entry into the Wally Bucks giveaway.
Yeah.
Here is Andy's 80s list in no particular order, it looks like. He's got Fast Times at Ridgemount High, solid. Breakfast Club. I think that Gunnar, you brought that one up. Uncle Buck,
nice,
classic. Caddyshack and Rain Man. Solid list.
Good list, Andrew.
Andy.
Good list.
I love it. It's a good list. All those movies are great. Thank you for taking the time and emailing the callguyspodcast at gmail.com. And just thank you again for listening. Hope you continue, and hopefully we see your 90s list. So I'm excited. Yeah. That's all the emails we got for right now. We do have a 90s list that we will read later.
All right.
Throughout this. So that's everything we got for now, Gunnar.
Okay, I got one more thing. A quick question of the pod.
Ooh.
Skywalker's first time on. He's got to answer a question of the pod.
Yes, sir.
And I want to make it easy. Just an easy, simple answer question of the podcast. If you had to choose one food that you love to never eat again, what would it be? Okay, maybe not so simple.
Pizza.
Pizza?
See, I don't love pizza. That's the problem. I think I've just eaten so much of it that I probably tacos. I think I could go without tacos.
Oh man, I don't know.
I was gonna say pizza, and then Colt said pizza, and then my second answer probably would have been tacos.
You can say pizza. You
So
can say tacos.
I will also go with pizza. Yeah, I think I like tacos too much to say tacos.
Yeah, tacos. That's a hot button topic.
Like authentic Mexican tacos any day, even American style taco bar. It's fine.
Yeah, like my wife has a lady from work who she's friends with, and she makes really good tamales, from what I understand.
Mhm.
And like, I'm about to put like a whole I'm getting ready to change out her whole boiler, and I have no idea how to do that, just for her to make me tamales.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I got it.
I'll be right there.
Did you cook? You got some? Can you cook those? So, I mean, that's tacos, man. That's a tough one. That's ballsy.
See, my problem is I have like 4 staple foods that I eat whenever I go to a new restaurant. It's always either country fried steak, fish and chips,
Ooh.
and just stuff like that. So I don't want to get rid of those because that's how I judge restaurants, is by those dishes.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing you're on a podcast that reviews different restaurants, breweries, pubs, bars, wineries in the state of Indiana.
Hey, what's that one called?
Might be called the Golden Image Podcast.
Yeah.
And you can find them at facebook.com/Golden Image Podcast. More to come on that later. Colton, as he stares at his TV above his computer screen.
Dude, there's a game on.
Football? Is it Thursday night football night in America?
No, it's basketball. It's Indiana basketball, brother. Basketball season has started. And dude, man, I hate, I truly, and I mean this, I hate how much I love that game. I really do. I wish I didn't like it. But I don't want to take anything lightly, but like if someone was to ask me if I had an addiction problem, it'd be basketball. Like, it's bad. I mean, I don't have certain gym memberships to certain places because there's basketball courts. And I cannot be playing that stupid game.
You'd be there every Saturday morning. Who's playing?
You got 5? I got next. That's all you got to learn. That's the phrase you got to learn. You got 5? I got next.
Well, Colton, I'm going to try to distract you from this basketball game by talking about what we're supposed to talk about today. Skywalker, you ready?
Yeah, I'm
ready to talk about your top 5
been waiting on you this whole night. Jeez.
Favorite 90s movies. You've been waiting on me, or you've been waiting on Skywalker?
No, we've been waiting on Colton. Let's be honest. Dude.
Yeah, I see.
Hey. There was something that went on at my house here, okay, that had to be taken care of, unfortunately, and that is the loss of my beer fridge. Okay,
it's important. It is important.
Yes. It was a sad afternoon. It was a sad evening. I felt like a little bit of me died.
It's a good thing you got the little mini one next to you now, though.
Yeah, I know. I should probably. Yep, I still got one in there.
We're still good. All right, so let's do it. We're gonna cover our top 5 90s movies.
Skylar, did we take care of the drive into work for you there? You think, with our intro and before our topic?
100%. I am not listening to this episode. I take that back. I will listen to this episode.
He will listen to it.
At least download it.
Yeah, just listen one time for about a minute and a half.
See, the problem is I know it goes up on YouTube, and I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube, and I'm just be staring at myself the whole time. Be like, man, I don't look good on camera.
Just stare at Frank in the background of Colton right there. You'd be good. That's what I look at. All right, so who wants to go first with their number 5?
I'll go first
Okay.
Oh,
because I mean
nice.
technically I've got a number 6 because I couldn't not put this on my list.
Honorable mention. That's an honorable mention.
Oh man, I don't. It's like they're tied for 5, right? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Hey,
I
Can I
mean, yeah.
break your rules just a little bit?
Who am
Just
I?
do them both
who am-
together.
All right. So
Who am I to
my
judge?
my
Yeah.
2 number 5s would be Tremors, 1990,
Wow.
starring Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward.
Movie sucks.
Oh, you shut your dirty mouth. That's one of my
Did you
favorite
just say
movies.
Tremors sucks?
I'm just not a big fan of it.
We're gonna have to kick Colton out of this podcast. We're
I do.
already
I have it.
starting-
I have it in my honorable mentions. It was one of my first honorable mentions. So
It is not on mine.
It's easy. It's my childhood movie. Whenever
Oh,
I
yeah.
go stay with friends, we'd always watch Tremors, and they open the umbrellas and on stop all the guts. It's just those are iconic scenes that live rent free in my head.
See, I think
Nice.
I think that was just a scary movie for me.
That's fair, I suppose. And then my number 5 is Dante's Peak, 1997. Pierce
Man,
Brosnan,
yes,
Linda Hamilton.
that is one of Mom's favorite movies of all time.
Oh man, I love that movie so much.
You ever seen it, Colton?
Dude, it's probably been a bit.
The volcano erupts and
Yeah.
yeah.
They're in like the nicest place to live on the West Coast, up on the edge of a volcano, and Pierce Brosnan is the volcanologist. It's fantastic movie.
I mean, I think I can make a case that Pierce probably owned the 90s.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I can make a case. So
Best
yeah,
Bond?
I
I mean,
man, I don't know about best Bond. That's I think I personally think it's the Bond we grew up with. And that's our first James Bond that we saw like in theater. And I think that's why I have an attachment to him.
right.
But I think I love the character. I think I love the character growth and arc of Daniel Craig's James Bond more than I like Pierce Brosnan's James Bond, because I feel like I think Pierce Brosnan's Bond girls were better. I love his Bond girls mostly because Halle Berry was one of them.
So yeah,
something funny. I must have missed. A joke.
Halle Berry.
I
Didn't
love
she
me
make
some
that,
Halle
that
Berry.
really great movie in the early 2000s. Is that going to be on your
It-
list next week?
It will be if you keep pushing it.
Meow. Cat got your tongue. Oh wait, no, that's Anne Hathaway.
It's so bad.
I'm pretty sure she said "Cat got your tongue" in that movie.
Oh, probably.
I
I'm
think
sure
she did. I think she did.
Probably.
So yeah,
So,
Dante's Peak.
that's good. I like those.
I love that movie.
Me too. Add that to the honorable mentions list. Colton, you want next?
Yeah, if you want me to.
Go for it.
So the real question is, how do you get fired on your day off of work? Skylar, you know how you get fired? How do you get fired from your day off of work?
Man, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
They caught you stealing boxes?
Oh my gosh, are you talking that? Oh yeah, I forget.
Oh,
I always
come on,
forget the
Gunner,
name of.
you know it.
I always forget the name of it. It's the one with the. We talk about this scene all the time in the little quickie mart.
Oh my neck.
Count,
Oh my back. Oh my neck and my back.
Counting up to 100 and back down. I can't remember. What's the name of the movie?
Friday.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right.
1995. Friday.
Hmm.
Man. I love this movie.
Yeah.
I have the stupidest grin on my face the whole time when it's on, and I can quote it. There's nothing I don't like about that movie. It's all gold. It's all gold. Ice Cube did an amazing job with this movie. Chris Tucker, fantastic.
You did it.
I know.
They're the same person. Pretty
So,
much.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
It's rough.
And you've mentioned it quite a few times.
Yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites. Every character in that is just quotable and remarkable. Like it's funny that his girlfriend the whole time, if you watch the movie enough, like his girlfriend is like accusing Ice Cube's character of cheating on him while she's on the phone with another dude in her bed.
Yeah.
It's like it's stuff like that. And then you've got an old you got Bernie Mac in it as the Reverend going over to give spiritual help over to the to the neighbors. It's just, man, it's just it's just about a day. That's all
About
it
a day.
is. And it's so simple. It's so, man, it's just great. It's just a great movie. Just a great movie. If you haven't watched it, I'm telling you, go watch it. 20, 40,
I've
60.
seen it one time.
Oh, you need to watch it more.
Nah, I don't. Then the first time I watched it, I don't think I liked it that much. So.
Oh,
I've seen Colton showed me
boo.
scenes. I don't know that I've ever watched it fully through.
I would. Oh, I can't. The opening scene. That opening scene. I die every single time, and I can't repeat it on air. But the old ladies they got for that part of the movie set the tone that this is just gonna be hysterical. So I'm telling everybody out there, just go out there, watch the intro into Friday. And if you don't like that, you won't like the rest of the movie.
Okay.
So that's my thing for Friday.
Nice.
So that's my number 5, Gunnar. What's your number 5, brother?
So you said yours is about a day. Mine's
Yes.
about somebody's whole life. Now, I'm gonna give a little background before I tell you what it is. My film studies professor in college was in love with this filmmaker, and made me kind of have a little bit of a love for him also. And it's Charlie Chaplin. And in 92, RDJ played Chaplin in his biography pick called Chaplin. And you just need to go watch it because it's he is writing his biography and his editor's there and he's telling his editor the story of his life. And then you're getting the flashback of his whole life. And it's a really well shot movie. It's got a really good flashbacks, and it's back and forth through the whole thing. People are visiting him. He's in like his probably 70s or 80s, and people are visiting him at his house, and then it flashes back to him, and it all kind of correlates back to what's happening to him now compared to what happened to him back in the day. But it goes from everywhere from the tramp. He was poor growing up to being a filmmaker, doing all the slapstick stuff, getting on stage, doing all that, making people laugh. And Robert Downey Jr. does an awesome job in this movie. I mean, it's just fun. It's just fun to watch, and like wanting to be a director and seeing how the way that he came up out of nothing to what he actually became and the symbol that he is actually now. Like if you see Charlie Chaplin, you know who it is, you know all the different things he did. So it's a really good movie. Go check it out. Chaplin with Robert Downey Jr., who I don't even know how old he was at that point, but he was probably in his late 20s when he played him. So looks just like him too. Kind of wild. So yeah, Chaplin.
I can see that.
Chaplin.
A young RDJ.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I like it. Okay, Skywalker, you're number 4.
All right, my number 4 stars Casper Van Dien, Denise Richards, and Neil Patrick Harris from 1997. You ready?
I think I know it.
Starship
I know it.
Troopers.
Yes.
Yes.
It's in my honorable mentions.
It's in my honorable mention as well.
This is another one of those movies.
Cult classic.
Scotty T showed it to me when I was of that age, and I fell in love with it. It's
so bad. It's one of those movies that it's so bad you just can't help but love it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it definitely makes my top 5 because I can sit down and watch it any day of the week and love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh
yeah.
gosh. That's a great. I like that.
Young Neil Patrick Harris, by the way.
Super young Neil
Yep.
Patrick. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. Like, so my buddy Snake, like, That was another movie his dad made us watch. It was Starship Troopers and like They Live. Like those are the movies he like said, "Hey, these are great movies. You need to know these movies."
Have you ever seen the sequels?
Oh god.
They're so bad.
Yes.
So bad. But
I think
man,
I've only seen the second one though, because I saw they made 3, didn't they?
yeah, Casper comes back for the third one.
Yeah, I
Um,
couldn't.
They are garbage, but that first movie is just it's a cult classic.
It is.
Nice. Great movie. Great bad movie.
Great awful, yeah, for sure. Gosh. Okay. Quite possibly one of the greatest opening scenes ever for a war movie. The emotion of it, the feel of it, how it was shot, everything about the first 20 minutes of this movie set the tone for the rest of the movie. And it was in 1998. Can we guess this movie? From a historical standpoint, the way it was shot.
Man, I don't know.
My guess would be
Are you're
Braveheart,
you're talking Normandy Beach, I'm assuming. But I'm trying to think of what the movie is.
Yeah.
Saving Private
Okay.
Ryan.
Shaving Ryan's Privates, yeah.
False.
Sorry.
False, Cutter. False. Yeah, Saving Private Ryan, that opening scene on Omaha Beach, you know, it's hard to reenact that, but I feel like, and obviously I wasn't there. I don't personally know anybody who was there, but when I watched that movie, I feel like that's what was going on the beach at the time. And everything that was going on, the slow-mo when one of the mortars goes off right by him, and you see some guy who stands up and he's looking around and he grabs his arm and he gets behind a sand dune, like the chaos of what that day was. I felt like it was caught beautifully on camera.
I was actually talking to Chris about this today because we were talking about what the episode was about tonight. And he's like, what about Saving Private Ryan? And I was like, yeah, it's a great movie. He's like, that first scene, he's like, I didn't watch it until like not that long ago, right? And he said that first scene just encapsulated him because it's real. That's what happened. Like they depicted it so well as compared to what happened. And I said, you know what also depicted that scene really well? The original Call of Duty.
Yes. And I think Call of Duty stole from that, because a lot of the mannerisms, like when they're on the boat and they're giving the calls on, and that whole thing, it's almost shot for shot the same thing from that original Call of Duty game, Medal of Honor.
Let me tell you guys why Saving Private Ryan did not make my list. At the very end, when they're sitting in that town and they have the Jewish soldier up in the top and the Germans go up and he's slowly pushing that bayonet into him, gave me nightmares. And I don't know why. That's just one of those scenes that's always stuck with me, and I cannot rewatch that movie because of that one scene. It makes me sick to my stomach.
I think to me, the thing about it is that it feels so real.
Right.
Like I feel like that's hand-to-hand combat and that's how it happens. It's just the slowly overtaking of somebody, and that's all you can do is just kind of accept it. Yeah. Like, I mean, Spielberg, you want to talk about one of his all times, to me, is that movie.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of good stuff and I can't knock him, but to me, that's one of my favorite Spielberg movies.
It was like one of his first rated R ones too, wasn't it?
I don't know about that, but it could be.
I think it was. Pretty sure.
It
I have
could
to
be.
look into that, but
we have young Vin Diesel. We've got I think Simon Pegg is actually in that movie for a hot second. No, he's in Band of Brothers. Ted Danson's in it.
Yeah.
They got some real like one-off characters in there. Um, I just I love the storyline of trying to find a needle in a stack of needles and trying to get them home, and how there's now a legitimate rule that only one blood relative is allowed to go into active combat now because of it. And it's one of my favorite World War II movies.
Yeah.
In high school when we watched that in the
Auditorium.
auditorium, man. It was such a fantastic movie until we got to that one scene, and then yeah, that was it.
Was that the first time you watched it? Was in high
that
school?
was the first time I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So up on that big projection.
Oh yeah,
screen
with your classmates all around you.
What was
You're
it? The other one was what? Schindler's List, which was
Yeah, Schindler's List.
also a 90s movie.
Yeah, that's in my
Honorable mentions.
honorable
I
mentions.
think I actually put it in mine too.
That's one of my favorite. Man, we should do top 5 black and white movies.
Yeah.
Have you seen that many black and white movies, Gunnar?
Yeah, I actually probably have. I've watched a lot of older
so
movies,
there's hope. There's hope.
Yeah. All right. So good.
What's your number 4?
Not Saving Private Ryan, but that's a great
Oh.
movie. I'm gonna go 1995. Miramax, Mallrats.
Oh,
I love Mallrats. It's Jason Lee, and you also got Jane Silent Bob in there because they do all that Universal crossover stuff where they're all in these movies together. Always enjoyed Mallrats. It's always just been funny. It's been relatable, especially as a high schooler. Like you kind of feel what those guys are going through. Girlfriends breaking up with them. They're obviously we didn't have the same mall going to the mall like they did in the movie, but it was just always a fun movie to watch. And I knew Jane Silent Bob really well because of Jane Silent Bob Strike Back and Clerks, and seeing them in there and understanding kind of what they're doing. Stan Lee does a cameo in it because they're comic book nerds and play a bunch of video games. A lot of that slapstick with Jason, and I can't remember the actor's name that played his counterpart in that, but it's fun. It's a fun movie. Like I said, I've always enjoyed it. It's that same thing that we talk about here on the Call Guys, movies and superheroes. It's kind of that same feel. So I love Mallrats. I love Miramax films, just in general, how they all connect like that. So that'd be my number 4.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Skywalker.
All right. Number 3, 1994, starring Brandon Lee and Ernie Hudson. The Crow.
Nice.
Just yet again another, like all these movies, they are all staples of my childhood, right? Because this was
90s,
when I grew up. Yeah. Fantastic soundtrack. Super dark and gritty movie.
Can't rain all the time.
Can't rain all the time. When he's playing guitar up on the roof and he just, yeah. Man, I get goosebumps even thinking about that guitar scene where he's up there and just shredding, and then he destroys the guitar and the amp. And
well, talk about just the fight scenes in that movie. I mean, Brandon Lee grew up in country in, oh gosh, somewhere out way east. I don't know. It wasn't Japan, but it was around there, maybe Thailand. Like, he grew up in a country like that. I'm sure he was like doing some sort of like fighting around out there like that, like martial arts or something.
Well, you know who his dad is too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Right.
But I mean, he had to have. And I don't know. I've always loved that movie too. And Dad introduced us to that movie, and it's always been a movie that I've loved. And Ice Nine Kills did the song about it, which is an awesome song.
Obviously Brandon Lee died during filming of the movie. He got it was somebody loaded a blank that
got lodged. It got like lodged in, and then when they fired the next one, it caused that one to actually have force to it. So
an actor definitely gone way before his time.
Shot him in the back, I think. It was like lower spine.
Was it? Because I thought this was the one where he he put the gun up to his head and pulled the trigger.
we'd
Am I
have to
thinking of
go-
a different movie?
That's a different movie. We'd have to go look.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but fantastic. Just
You ever
That-
watch it, Colton?
I think I've seen it once and it was scary, so I haven't watched it since. I
Go back
do
and-
know
go
I
back
do
and
know I
watch
need to
it.
go rewatch it.
You do.
and it's another one of those movies where the sequels are absolutely freaking horrible.
But worth watching.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
honest,
I feel like there's a lot of the 90s.
Oh, 100%, man. So Crow comes in at number 3 for me.
Okay.
And that the next 3, 2, and 1 were tough for me to
my
put these
top
movies in
top
order.
3 were very tough to put in order too.
Man, maybe. What number are we on now? 3? 3? Okay, so 3. My third movie. One of Gunner's favorite actors,
Keanu Reeves,
99.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
No, Bogus Journey does not make the list.
Uh,
Or the honorable mentions for that matter. Really made you question what you thought in this life.
The Matrix.
Is it real or is it a simulation?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid and thinking, oh man, when do I get my red and blue pill? Like
Yeah.
when am I asked? It's just, to me, it was ahead of its time. It was great. I loved Keanu. Lawrence Fishburne.
Mhm.
I loved gosh.
Names.
Carrie Ann Moss.
That's her.
Trinity.
And the bald-headed guy, I want to say Slade is his name. Cypher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I thought the casting, I thought that was great. I thought it leads into a great trilogy. It's not super awesome, but I mean,
Not a trilogy anymore.
yeah, it's not a trilogy anymore technically, but I just really I thought it was a great start. I mean, you have the whole slow motion when he's dodging the bullets and he's leaning back. Everybody's got, if someone says, hey, that guy's trying to do the Matrix over there, everybody knows, like, they're trying to like go past 90 degrees laying backwards, and everybody, if someone says that.
Yeah.
Agent Smith, I mean, holy crap, there's an actor.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving, who's one of,
LOTR.
we've got V for
Oh,
Vendetta.
I could see it and I couldn't think of what it was called. Yep.
V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, he's great. I mean, that was a perfect cast in my opinion
Mhm.
for him. So it's
Yeah.
just one of those movies that I felt like, to me, it was like one of the first very first, like, quote unquote blockbuster movies I saw in theater. So,
I'm super bummed out they didn't bring Hugo Weaving back for
Oh, I was too.
the 2021 release.
even if it would have been just for kind of like he was
cameo.
getting taken over,
Right.
like, I think he'd at least, I don't know if there was conflict, like scheduling conflicts, or he just didn't want to do it, or if it's a result of, because this isn't a COVID movie, is it?
It might have been filmed during COVID. It probably was filmed during COVID.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm hoping that wasn't a reason. But I mean, yeah, the fourth one is, I just felt like it was one of those trilogies that didn't need a fourth one. To me,
See, I like the fourth one probably because everybody else before I watched it hated it so much. Yet again, low expectations come out with great results.
yeah,
I sat down, I was like, man, that was really good. And I mean, it might have been just a rehash of the original essentially, but
The self-awareness of the movie itself was what kind of got me, I guess. like calling back to the originals.
Yeah, that's all it was to me. It was just like flipped. It's the
Yeah.
same thing, and that's the
Right.
one thing I did. I was really hoping it would have expanded, not
Rehashed.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for.
See, the problem is what is the third one? Is it Revolutions?
Revelation.
Revelations? They put such a great close on the end of the trilogy that I think that was the only way for them to really reboot it, was to just rehash the
See,
original Matrix.
and that's where I was thinking, I mean, we don't need it. Like, it's not needed. Like,
Right.
it was fine. You should have just left it alone. Man, there's another podcast idea. There's another
Movies that
episode
should be
idea.
left alone.
Yes. Yes, like
The
original-
Die Hard question: movies that should be left alone, and whatever you said at the beginning of this episode.
Oh my. So yeah, The Matrix. I mean, that's
That's a good movie.
I-
It's in my honorable mentions.
fair enough, brother. What's your number 3 then?
Movie that we've talked about before, came out in '99. Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. 10 Things I Hate About You. Movie I can watch anytime. I love it. I love the drama. I love Heath Ledger playing the bad boy. I think he does a really good job just kind of playing that, like, kind of laid it back dude. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays the kind of that goofy character. I mean, he kind of plays that character in a lot of his younger movies, which is fun to watch. And I do want to apologize to anybody that heard me talk about this movie before. I mixed up Bianca and Kat. Kat is Julia Stiles. Bianca is her sister, and I always get those two mixed up in the movie. Are you cracking beers like Beer 30 over there?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I love the whole plot with her dad saying you can't date, and then saying actually you can date, but your sister has to have a date too. So it's just fun to watch. Like I said, I love watching a young Heath Ledger and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know, just always enjoyed it. I could talk about that movie in every Call Guys episode.
Yeah, the ending gets me for that.
Oh, the poem.
Yeah.
Yeah, great scene. Probably,
is.
I would say that's probably the best scene in the movie, to be honest. But yeah,
For sure. All right,
things.
Skywalker, you're number 2. Doesn't make you
doesn't
cry.
make you cry.
Well, I'm last minute changing my number 2 because it was The Matrix, but this actually worked out perfectly, right? You all can thank me every year come the fall when you haven't died in a tornado.
Oh,
Okay.
Twister.
1996.
Twist.
Ellen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Carrie Elways, Twister.
I didn't even think about that movie. I love Twister.
I watch it every year to ensure that a tornado does not hit my house. And it has worked. It has worked very well.
You better knock on wood.
Oh, I brag about it every time, every chance I get. Fantastic movie, fantastic soundtrack. The CGI just was incredible.
Mhm.
I mean, I can't say enough about this movie in general. It's just it's
Best scene.
fantastic.
Best scene. I got
Definitely
mine.
when they're riding up at the end and he's playing I can't even think of the actor's name off the top of my head. Philip Seymour Hoffman's playing is it Van Halen?
It might be. I don't remember.
Yeah, where they're just driving up at the end after the giant tornadoes rip that barn apart. And
Oh yeah. I'd say the when they're in the drainage or under the bridge, or I guess whatever you'd call it, when the Twister comes through and the truck's getting pushed in towards them and they come out afterwards and everything's just gone. I always thought that was an amazing scene and it was shot so well. Oh God, you're pulling all Mom's favorite movies. I don't know what you're doing.
she had a lot of influence on me in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Apparently.
The drive-in theater scene where the tornado comes and rips apart the screen while they're watching The Shining.
Yeah.
Just absolutely beautifully shot. And I would imagine if that actually happened, that'd be the most terrifying thing on the planet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very cool. Great movie. Good switcheroo on that one.
It was really hard not to put that in my top 5. So
Yeah.
Colton helped me out a lot there.
You're welcome.
Colton, number 2. Does it make you cry?
It does not make me cry. One person who I did snub in the top actresses was Helen Bohina Carter.
Bonham Carter.
Bottom Carter. See, I'm always afraid to say her name because I'm always going to say it wrong.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Helena Bonham Carter.
Got it.
One of my favorite roles of hers, and probably the first role I actually saw her in 99. But just so you know, I am Jax Abdullah Oblongata. What's the first rule, Gunner? Gunner, what's the first rule?
I don't know.
Skywalker, what's the first rule?
I did not understand what you said.
I didn't either. I don't think you said it right.
What is the first rule of Fight Club? Guys, come on.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
What is the second rule of Fight Club? You do not talk about Fight Club.
Is it? I haven't watched Fight Club in so long.
Jeez,
I didn't realize she was in it. And what'd you say about the medulla oblongata?
So that's he's talking to himself, and he's trying to figure out Tyler. He's trying to figure out Tyler, and he's saying weird stuff like I am Jax Abdullah Oblongata. I am Jack's first thought. He's like saying these weird, insightful things that you have to watch a movie first time to understand what the heck's going on and stuff like that. So that was just a little reference,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, bad. My bad. I should have just started.
It didn't land for us. You should have just said
that's okay.
99 Fight Club, and we would have been like, nice.
My issue with Fight Club is I've seen it maybe twice. It's not one of those movies that I ever sit down and like, I just want to watch Fight Club, because I'm not a big Ed Norton fan, or really even Brad Pitt, to be honest with you. But
man, that's prime Brad Pitt years.
I know. I mean, to be fair, 7 is on my honorable mentions.
And Rounders is on mine, and Norton's in that. So
same. I think 90s Norton is the best Norton.
Oh yeah.
We could throw in American History X there, because I think that was done in the early 2000s ish, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head.
Talk about a movie that'll screw you up.
Oh, you're telling me? Yeah. But yeah, Fight Club. It was actually in Snake and I's college dorm. That movie poster, it had all the rules to Fight Club on it. I love the twist at the end. It might be one of the first movies I watched where I had to rewatch it right away, just to be like, oh my gosh, how did I miss this? Like, when do you start recognizing what's going on? And you can slowly see him losing his mind throughout the whole movie, which I thought it was just a great thinking movie. I love the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Ending was great. So yeah, Fight Club is my number 2 movie of the 90s.
Good. Sorry we didn't catch your references.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I did a terrible job. I did a terrible job explaining it to you guys. I'm trying to get you guys to guess. But I can't win them all. So Gunner, what is your number 2, and does it make you cry?
Tears of Joy most of the time.
Ooh.
I absolutely love this movie. It will come up in Books to Movies, released in 93. It is a book that I have read that became a movie.
Good one.
I swear on my life it is. I'm sure you can guess what it is. I'm going to give you one thing. The main characters of the movie were animatronics.
It's a book to movie, and the main characters are animatronics.
Those characters were also animals. I'm doing a terrible job.
Barney
Dr. Alan Grant.
Ah.
Elliot Sadler.
Oh, the Jurassic Park book that we were forced to read in school. That's what you're saying?
Yep.
Wow.
And yes, I read that fully through. I enjoyed every minute of that book.
I
enjoy
glad
every
you finished
minute.
the book.
I enjoy every minute of the movie. I love this movie. Once again, it's one of those I can watch. I wish they wouldn't have went as far with the sequels and then going into Jurassic World. I wish they kind of would have just toned it down a little bit, but they had to make some money. Colton always talks about the cash grab, and that's what all those were. I like the older ones because they weren't hesitant on the gore and the suspense and the thrill of it, right? And the newer ones are kind of a little bit more pulled back from that. You don't get as much of the literally seeing people getting eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Love Alan Grant, Ellie Sadler, Ian Malcolm, obviously Jeff Goldblum playing Ian Malcolm. We see him a lot more now. Yeah, it's just one of those movies that's so far fetched, but you could just see it happening and it's just entertaining. So also the story arc of Dr. Grant starting out as was he a paleontologist? Is that what he was, I guess? Going from that and absolutely hating kids and not wanting to be around kids to the complete 180 turnaround of like maybe he shouldn't be studying dinosaurs at that point. And I love kids. So I don't know. Always love the movie. I mean 2 and 3 I like too. They're obviously not as good as first, but
Yeah, that's fair.
number 2. Jurassic Park.
Skywalker, any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I've got 7. Interview with a Vampire, fantastic movie. Braveheart,
Oh,
Little Giants.
I got that one in mind too.
Here's a good one for you. Waterworld.
Oh my gosh,
Nice.
kick rocks.
I love Waterworld. And I got to throw out a shout out to Studio Ghibli. Even though the 90s weren't very good for him, I put Princess Mononoke on the list. Good Will Hunting. So just a few to throw out there.
Well, let's see. I had Starship Troopers, Saving Private Ryan, Silence of the Lambs, The Matrix, Good Will Hunting, Clerks, Mighty Ducks, Little Giants, Small Soldiers, The Sixth Sense, Face Off, Rounders, The Green Mile, Sleepy Hollow. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could have just kept going.
Yeah, I got 7: Schindler's List, Casino, JFK, Starship Troopers, The
Mhm.
Unforgiven, The Big Lebowski,
Mhm.
Pulp Fiction, Forrest
Nice.
Gump, 12 Monkeys, Good Will Hunting, and Rounders.
Nice.
And then we actually have an email.
Yeah,
for
actually,
somebody's.
I do. I forgot I had more honorable mentions in here. These are Disney movie honorable mentions, and I did want to hit on all these animated movies because I didn't put an animated movie in my top, but I just want to give a round of applause to Disney for their movies, their animated films during this time period, because they're all just amazing. And we're gonna do a top 5 Disney movies here in the future.
I think that's why I didn't put any for that reason.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, Bugs Life, Tarzan, Hercules, Toy Story, Milan, Pocahontas, Aladdin, The Iron Giant. Love The Iron Giant. Great movie. So okay, yeah.
So
go
we
ahead.
have I believe he goes by Coach
Coach
from
Rob.
the Indiana Chiefs podcast. Dropped us his 90s favorite movies. He starts it off with Vanilla Thunder. And Chico. I'm just gonna say every time I read that, I'm gonna say it just like the Emperor.
Yeah.
Vanilla Thunder. So here's his list. He's got a couple in here we didn't mention. Number 5, The Green Mile, 99.
Oh yeah.
Number 4, Awakenings, in 90. Number 3 is Forrest Gump in 94. Number 2, Mrs. Doubtfire.
He's a huge Robin Williams fan, so
93. Well, number 1, Aladdin, the 92 Aladdin. Honorable mentions, he says, The Water Boy.
Mama said.
My mama said. And then he said the rest of Robin Williams movies in the 90s. faithful listener, Coach. Coach, as always, thank you again for the email. You don't know it, but you're in the Wally Bucks giveaway right now. So don't forget to get out there and like, comment, share, do all 3 for 5 entries, do one of those for 1 entry. Send us an email at thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. Get in on the big Wally Bucks giveaway. Gunner, flash them bucks. That's right. Sing to me. And side note, if the Emperor gets his name drawn first, he's going to throw in another $25 gift card into the big Wally giveaway. So potentially could get up to $75. So get out there, like, share, comment, send us an email, do whatever it takes to get in on the drawing. So
Wow, you're on top of it. You're on top of it, Colton.
hey man, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to pull my weight here. You know, I can't be the face of this thing and not do anything else on the side. Okay, I can't be the Emperor. Okay.
Jeez.
What is that, Skywalker?
What is what?
He's watching me try to find my camera. It's hard. Cameras are hard, Skylar.
They are hard. I've learned that tonight. I'm trying to like point to things
Point to
earlier.
stuff.
Yeah.
Now you understand my problem. Like, it's hard to point at things because you don't know which hand is which when you're looking there. You just got to go like this.
Yeah. Or you're just like guessing. You're like, yeah, Frank.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna give my number 1 first because it's already been mentioned in somebody else's list,
Oh,
and we've already talked about it, so I'm not gonna hit on it, and I'll let you guys get to yours and hit on those pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
Mine is The Crow. My number 1 was The Crow. So and
Okay.
that's kind of why I was popping in on when you mentioned it, Skylar, because I figured we should talk about it twice.
Like I said, man, with my top 3, these are all interchangeable.
Mhm.
So The Crow being at 3 really could be at number 1 or number 2, and same with The
Yeah.
Matrix. The Matrix and Twister at this point, but I mean, just fantastic movie.
I also want to mention nobody mentioned any Adam Sandler movies, but he was pretty prominent in the 90s. Surprisingly, kind of weird.
There's such a great time for just movies in
Movies,
general.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I think, you know, if it was 90s comedies, yeah, I think Sandler would have been in a lot of these.
Oh yeah,
But I mean, the 90s is full of just phenomenal movies.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Skywalker,
number
Yeah.
1,
number 1.
1999, Brandon Fraser, Rachel Weisz,
George of
Mummy.
the Jungle.
George of the Jungle. Yeah, you got it.
The Mummy, huh?
The Mummy.
Nice. I didn't think about it.
Dang.
Great
Man,
movie.
I love this movie. Brandon Fraser is easily one of my favorite actors. You know, Airheads, George of the Jungle. Just he's fantastic, and I think this movie just takes him to the max and shows that he had the chops to be, you know, an action star. He could be
Comedian.
a comedian. Yeah, just an all around fantastic movie. I even as a kid, I loved ancient Egypt, so that has a big draw into it for me too. You know, Grandma took us to go
King
see
Tut.
like the sarcophaguses for King Tut when we were young. So it all kind of falls into place with The Mummy being probably my favorite movie from the 90s.
And for what it was, the CGI was great.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
The scarabs and the way they were able to move the sand and do stuff like that. Like nowadays, it's crazy what they can do, but that was really good for the time. So, and the whole thing with him, like actually becoming the Mummy actually becoming a person in flesh too. Like it all looked really good. So nice.
Nice. I like that. That's a good one. I
pick.
didn't even think about that movie.
Yeah, man. I mean, if there is any probably really solid spot on this list, number 1 would be The Mummy. I mean, I could easily put The Crow and the Matrix, Twister, any of those in that spot, but I do think the Mummy just edges them all out because I love Brendan Fraser. I mean,
Yeah, he did such a fantastic job in that role.
right.
And you go back for the terrible sequels because of him.
Well, I mean, even the second one, other than the CGI,
Yeah,
it's a really
With The
good
Rock.
story.
yeah,
Scorpion King.
yeah. The Scorpion King. Oh my, yeah. But you go back for. I always went back just to watch Frasier.
Right.
Like that was it.
I think
So,
I think I've only seen the third one maybe one time, but
I think I've
I
seen
will-
it maybe twice.
You
I
see the
will
Tom Cruise?
watch
You
the
seen the
first
Tom
two.
Cruise one?
no, I never watched it.
Not terrible.
The
Actually, pretty good.
hypocrisy of it. No, I did not want to watch that.
Not terrible. I actually enjoyed it for what it was. So
Okay. Nice. I like that. My number one, we've talked about it before. It's 1990s. It's my favorite movie of all time. Martin Scorsese. All my life I dreamed of being a gangster. I love this movie from start to finish. And it's Goodfellas. Prime Pesci, you're getting prime. I feel like you're getting prime Ray Liotta. You're getting prime De Niro, and the storyline of the whole life of this guy and how he started with the mob as a child, went up through his teenage years, and then became a dude that was just in the ranks, and how he essentially got out of the mob, and what really, to me, was the downfall of the mob, which was hard drugs, really screwed the mob in the end. And yeah, I just, this movie, it's my favorite Martin Scorsese movie. I think it's the best one ever he did. Not knocking any of his other works and stuff, but to me, this is my favorite. It's just a fantastic movie from start to finish. Just that's my number one. I'll keep it short because I know we've talked about it before. So
yeah, no.
I mean, if anybody who hasn't watched it, I would say watch it at least once. And I know it's a long movie. I know it's long, but it's worth it. It's a great movie. So
What is the runtime? It's like 3 hours, isn't it?
It's like 2:45.
That's my biggest turnoff for the movie. It's a fantastic movie. It's just it's a tough one to sit down and watch in one sitting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think
But
that's
yeah,
kind of
fantastic.
that's kind of the beauty for me is that I've seen it so many times that I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can go do something else real quick, or I can start it tonight, and I'll end it. I'll know like where in the movie I want to end it. If I'm like if I'm feeling tired, like let's get to the end of when they burn the tiki bar down, and then we'll start it from there. Like it's a great movie. It's fantastic.
I'll pop in another 90s Pesci film for you. I've actually watched it.
What, My Cousin Vinny?
I've watched it twice in the last 2 days because Freeform has decided, let's just start showing Christmas movies now.
I knew what it was the
Yeah.
second he said it.
Yep, Home Alone. And Home Alone 2. I actually realized I really enjoy Home Alone 2. but yeah. So, and I love Home Alone 3. Yes.
Home Alone 3.
I,
It's so funny. We Aspen's been on this Christmas movie kick since before Halloween, and he wanted to watch Home Alone.
Okay.
So
yep,
me and
Filthy
Sora,
Animal.
me and Sora is sitting on the couch one night while he's watching them, and she just keeps looking at me and goes, "Oh, that hurts. Oh, that doesn't feel good." I was like, "No, honey, they'd probably kill him."
Yep.
But yeah, it was just the cutest thing. Home
I'm
Alone
gonna
almost
give
made my
you to the
list.
count of 3.
To get your lion, no good carcass off my land.
Yeah. Like I said, I've watched it a time and a half because I watched it last night, and then we were cleaning the floors today, and it was on, and I'm like watching it, going, "Why am I watching this again?"
Freezer.
It is a
Yep.
great movie. All three.
It's a
of them.
gr-
Good.
The
Yep.
fourth one, horrible,
Yeah.
horrible movie.
Well, guys, good list. Good lists. Multiple.
We made
It's
it. We
been fun.
survived.
It's been fun. It's been a fun list. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add on 90s movies? Skylar, do you have anything you want to add on 80s movies? Is there anything we missed that you thought of when you were listening to last week's episode?
Man, that's a good question. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, you can get us, thecallguyspodcast at gmail.com.
You know what? I take that back.
Oh.
So I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan. My Neighbor Totoro would have definitely been on my top 5. I know you guys aren't much into animated films, but it's a staple in this house. So
Yes, there's how many Totoros are running around that house.
too many.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Skywalker, you want to do the plugs?
I don't know. Am I gonna get yelled at, Colton?
Skylar, you got my plugs?
Let me just say that I came into this night fully expecting to fight with Colton, and that didn't happen. So I think we're gonna have to save that for sometime in the future.
I think the problem is that Gunner's a non-confrontational person. Gunner
Where to
likes to
fight
keep
the
the
camera.
peace, and Gunner brought you in on an episode in a non-confrontational episode. I mean, if you wanted to come in here and, I have a hunch you are a DC lover.
I wouldn't push that.
Oh my gosh, why do you have a quarrel with me? What's your deal? What's your beef, bruh?
Oh man, listen. I don't think the DC movies are great.
Because they're not.
I mean, legitimately they're not.
Snyder
There
Cut is good.
Okay, you got one.
There are some great films that come from it though. Aquaman, Shazam, fantastic movies, especially standalone movies. Right? No?
I mean, I
He's got to watch him. He's got to watch him first.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is that DC's done nothing for me to trust them in anything that they've done. Anything.
I mean, you like the Batman.
No, that's true.
Like when you say the Batman, are we talking the Pattinson one or?
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, so
probably legitimately any Batman movie, right?
So I would
Other
say
than
there's a couple.
The
There's
Ben
a couple,
Affleck movies
There's a couple rough ones.
and the George Clooney one.
I love that one. I love it
You
because
do not.
it's so cheesy. It's so cheesy.
Oh, no.
It's just so cheesy. I can't.
And you can't not love Bale as Batman, but that's not really DCEU. I think Colton's got a problem with DCEU.
Yeah,
Anything that's trying to make a world.
Yeah, my problem is that they've tried to incorporate the DC universe with Batman, and I think they've sucked at it. I think because to me, Bale is a standalone Batman movie, and I
100%.
believe that, and I really want it to stay this way, but I'm worried. I want the Pattinson movies to stay on their own. Don't get into any universe crap. Don't get involved with those idiots over there. Just do your own thing. Do your own trilogy. I think they were off to a good start, and I think they can make 2 more. And but that's Gunner's right. That's my issue, is that they've tried to tag in Batman into that universe, and it just sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't like Justice League. I don't care for Cavill as Superman. I mean, obviously, I think there have been worse iterations of it. But
Man of Steel itself as a whole is a really good movie. Him in that universe just is okay.
I think that's their problem, is that they can't figure out how to make a universe with their characters or actors or actresses. They just can't figure it out for some reason. I'm okay with it one-offs. I'm okay with their one-offs. But when they're trying to bring them in together for that whole Avengers go, or that Justice League Go crap. I mean, it just doesn't work. I don't know why they can't figure it out.
Well, they need to slow down and stop trying to pace themselves with Marvel, first of all, because
Well, they're not
never
they're
going to
not
match
Marvel.
that juggernaut.
Yeah, they're not. But don't tell them that.
Well, they'll just keep rebooting until they finally get it right.
I don't see. I just don't think if the DC is going to try and go and make their own Avengers-esque phase.
They did it, and it's called the CW DC, the Arrowverse.
Oh,
And
my
I'm telling you right
gosh.
now, they did it so well with that, and
Kick rocks.
there's
Well,
no
even-
ass on carpet.
Even the HBO Max stuff, the DC
Oh, the Titans.
Plus whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Teen Titans was really good. Anything on that. But I mean, don't kill it until you've at least, watch Aquaman. It's not a fantastic movie, but it's a good movie. Shazam is the same way.
I think I'd like Shazam more because I feel like it's
Comedy.
not tied. What'd you say, Gunnar?
It's a comedy.
Yeah,
It's an action
to me,
comedy.
that seems more of like a comedy movie who just happens to be a DC superhero. And it knows, and I feel like from what I've read and understood, it knows its role, and that's it. It's a comedy, not a super serious DC movie that is leapboarding onto another DC movie that's going to leapfrog into another movie. Like, I'm okay with DC's one-off movies. I'm okay with those. But I think that's why I don't want to watch Aquaman, is because I think it's just going to suck because it's a part of that universe.
When I went into Aquaman, yet again, low expectations, right? But I mean, Jason
No
Momoa
glass at all.
kills it. He's such a good Aquaman.
He is. He is.
And I can't fault that. I can't deny that. I bet you he is probably perfect for that role. It's the forefront of saying getting ready to go see, wanting to go see it. It's just, well, do I want to see it? Well, no, I don't want to see it because I've got this and this to fall back on. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's mostly negative.
Mhm.
But I mean, I think it's a matter of time. I don't know when it'll happen or if it'll happen, but it's they need to, for me, they need just a whole hard wipe, reset. And I really hope it's not Pattinson, because I really like him as Batman. I would be perfectly okay if they started their own DC universe-esque with Batman, a different Batman. Even though that would be super weird.
I'm just saying. I mean, I know Lucas didn't really give it the best fight during his episode, but man, DC does put out some decent stuff, especially when it comes to the TV shows and certain movies. I'm not going to defend everything because there's just as much of it that comes off as garbage, but I mean, if you're going to start anywhere, start with the Arrowverse. Sink a little time into it.
And I think that's another issue of mine, is that I'd rather see it in the movie first. I'd rather see a movie form of it than a TV show first. If that makes sense. Like, I'd
Makes
rather
much
go
sense.
movie than TV show than TV show than movie.
Nice. All right, where them plugs at? These plugs are turning into DC talk.
Hey, somebody's got to try, okay?
Hey.
Somebody's got to
Yeah.
try.
We'll ding the bell another time when we'll get Gunner sick one weekend, and me and you will just have an episode where we'll go at it.
Just hot button topics.
I photoshopped the perfect picture for you already, so
You did. That was good. That was good.
I
I'll
still
give you
need
that.
to make the call guy shirt of Colton planting the flag on the hill, like the old, what is that? What was, oh gosh.
Okinawa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Planting the flag, and then it's just a flag that says DC sucks.
Speaking of Okinawa, I know you guys don't know this, but you might know this, but it's November 10th when we're recording this, and it is for those who don't know, it is the Marine Corps' birthday today, and my dad is a Marine, so I just want to say thank you for your service and everything you've done for us and continue to do, and just thank you again for sacrificing your time for us. So quick little shout out, happy birthday, Marines, Jarheads out there.
Nice.
Yes, thank you very
Very cool.
much.
So
Very cool.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast.
nice.
You can find us, Gunnar Colton, not me, at what is it, facebook.com/thecallguyspod, right?
Spot on.
Oh, wrong one.
Like and subscribe. They also post every week on YouTube. Make sure you like it, subscribe, and click that bell to get notified when they post their videos. It's definitely worth the watch. Colton makes some interesting faces, and Gunner's
Yes.
giving the finger guns. Also, go check out the Golden Mojo network of podcasts. That includes the Murdnerds, Indiana Chiefs fans,
Suck it, Emperor.
Golden Image Podcast, and the United States of Paranormal, plus the soon coming Court of Books and Booze.
I need to make a sign for that.
Oh, what the heck, man.
Yeah, you do. Very
So
nice.
there you go, guys. I
Very
mean,
nice.
you just shorthand it. It makes it a little bit quicker. You
Well,
can
so
get off and go do what you need to do.
it's been months ago now. I had Chris in the studio and we recorded the plugs. So he actually did. He's got a super nice voice. He went through and he recorded all the plugs. I just have not had the time to edit them, and I need to get that done. That way, Colton and I can just send out an episode without plugs and then just call it good. Save some time for ourselves. We always get some good conversations, so we probably won't do it every episode, but we will add it in there a couple times just to have them. So it'd be nice to have. But yeah, thanks Skywalker for coming on.
Yes, thank you, Skywalker. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy night and joining us with our shenanigans. Maybe we can have that rouse
Brawl.
and go one time.
Yeah,
brawl.
I'm definitely interested in hitting some of the hot topics at some point. I know people might be a little disappointed with this one because we didn't do it, but Colton, bud, it's fantastic seeing you.
Oh yeah, same.
I'm happy to come on. Same with you, my beautiful brother.
Mi amor.
I'm glad I could finally make it on, and Logan, you can suck it.
Yeah, there we
Made it
go.
on before I did doesn't mean anything.
It was BS, but it's okay.
It was BS. That's right. Before Skylar.
I love it.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
get a staple on this now, guys.
Watch out. He's gonna be texting me. He's like, "Hey, what's the Call Guys episode about tonight? Can I come on?" Nice. I like it. All right, guys. Anything else? No. All right. We're gonna get out of here, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.
Later.
The finger guns are really something.
What are you doing, brother?
Gosh, I don't know. I've just done them too many times
Oh
tonight.
my gosh. Oh my